What's up, guys? Shawn here. Welcome to Tuesday night studio sessions. I hope you guys are having a wonderful night. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. I've got that on mute. What's up, guys? Shawn here. No. Welcome to Tuesday night studios. There we go. I hope you guys are having a... Well, looks like you can hear me. Check and check. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my audio on my computer. Hopefully you guys can still hear me now. All right, so Bassmaster's saying some good things in there. Comments about rude, sexual, racial nature just aren't needed and will be responded to as such, but there's no reason we need to get to that point. A little common sense goes a long way, and respect others. Please refrain from bringing up politics and religious topics. Everyone has their own opinion and views. We just don't need to discuss them here. My channel is not about current events in the world. There will always be hatred, there will always be negativity in the world, and I choose the path of love, and I do not want to deal with hatred. I put in there, I pinned something up at the top of the chat. I don't want to deal with it here. This is a channel this is my hobby. I don't want to bring the world's problems into my hobby. So we are going to have a good night. We are going to have a night of positivity. Yeah. If I don't like you, it's not because your color. It's not because where you came from, but it's because of how you're acting. So, you know, I've got a lot of friends from a lot of different colors. I grew up in a very mixed culture, so I am very, very aware of cultures. And as a child, I was bullied by other races. So, and I've learned to overcome it. So, I posted a flight plan this week from my Paradanafi, which is kind of funny because I have, out of all the drones that I have around me, I do not have my Paradanafi. It's behind that curtain. So, yeah. But that little Paradanafi has been kicking it ever since I got it. I've had two Paradanafis. The first one had an issue with a firmware update, and customer service told me to do the update, not calibrate it, and then fly it. And then I didn't calibrate it, and it flew into a parking garage. So they sent me a new one, and but that Paradanafi has been kicking butt for the last year and a half since I've had the second one, and it had its 102nd flight this morning, and so I showed that to you guys, and I thought it was a wonderful flight. The flight plan on the Paradanafi is just so buttery smooth, and I love it. Nunley, what's up, man? Oh, thanks, Bob. I really appreciate it. Bob likes my video. There's one thing I didn't like about it. You'll notice that the white balance, so the very first part of the video is looking at gravel and dirt, and doesn't have a lot of green in it. Okay, so it's mostly like grays and browns. and the trees are, so it basically has something, the gravel is white, so it has a good white balance. I don't know, it gets a good white balance off of the gravel. And then once it hits the tree line and there's nothing but trees, all it sees is green, and the white balance adjusts itself to this kind of brownish a little bit. So I didn't like that very much. But by the time it made it back around to the townhomes and what was going on, it looked really good. So what's up, Steven Drones? Daggum, how many people we got in here? We got 9 people in here, and it's not even started yet. I need to put my phone in airplane mode when I do live streams because it is on my nerves. So I've changed my background a little bit. It still kind of looks like my live stream setup, but I put up some new shelves back there behind the curtain. And if you guys don't know, one day I'll do a studio tour. I feel like I'm close to doing a studio tour because my studio is almost clean again. But behind that curtain is kind of where I store all my gear. I've got shelves here and shelves here. But this, at some point, I'm going to have a camera pointing back at my computer monitor setup when I want to do like a tutorial intro or something like that. But anyway, behind that curtain is a bunch of storage. And so I bought these shelves. They were like $35 at a local yard sale place. It's a kind of a reseller, like an outlet store. And they're these awesome metal shelves, and they were $35 a pop. So I had to grab a bunch. So Bob Casey says, but the Anafi flew an awesome flight plan. I like the smooth turns with it. Yeah, I think the turns are awesome. A lot of times you'll get it whenever you turn a drone, the gimbal will like jerk back and forth trying to like. It's almost like you're like when you're looking forward you're good, but when you look like when you're driving, but when you look sideways you're like looking at fence posts and like, you know, bouncing back and forth. I think a lot of drones do that. I definitely, my DJI Spark did that. And I feel like the Anafi had that issue at the beginning. But I'm not sure. I think the Parrot Anafi is still like the best investment I've ever made on a drone. I've flown that drone more than I've flown any other drone. DJI Mavic Pro is a close second. First year of my channel was done with the DJI Mavic Pro. But love it. Nick the Savage, can you review the Polaroid Cube action camera? I can look into that. I can probably get my hands on a Polaroid Cube. The thing I like about the Polaroid Cube is it's got a magnet on it, so you can like just put it anywhere, which I think is really cool. Nick the Savage has the Bebop 2. I have the Bebop 2 in that closet right over there. I love the Bebop 2. Actually, my first drone ever was the Parrot AR drone 2.0. I got it at a GameStop, and it was like, it had this like styrofoam. It's actually the same stuff that the Parrot Bebop 2 is made out of. That kind of rubbery foam. It looks like styrofoam, but it's actually very, very strong and very, very light. But it had like propeller guards all around it, and then you flew it with your iPad, or your iPhone. So you would hold your iPhone like this, and if you went like this, it would go forward, and if you went like that, it'd go back, and that's how you could fly. And then there was like a little button on the top of it where you tap the button and it'd do a flip. And then they moved that into the Bebop series, but the Bebops, you can still fly them with a phone, but they actually had legit controllers. The Bebops actually had like the biggest controller I've ever had. Um, yeah, it was like I don't know, like this huge, like a joystick on each side. They're like fighter pilot controls on both sides, and then the antenna was about this big on top of it, and it was so big you could put an iPad in it. I actually really loved it. And the first time I ever attached an external camera to a drone was on my original Parrot Bebop. I bought, if you guys are familiar with Sony action cameras, Sony action cameras kind of had the same type of mounting system as a GoPro, but instead they used a 1/4-20 tripod mount. So I took one of those and with a 3M tape and put it on one of my batteries for my Parrot Bebop 2, or no, my original Parrot Bebop, and flew around the Ricoh Theta V. It might have been the Ricoh Theta V is what I put on there. So yeah, that's good times. I actually have a picture of my son, or a video of my son. I put it up on YouTube somewhere. I think it might be on this channel somewhere. But it was the me flying the AR drone with my son, and my son was like 3. He's 12 now. So that was back in the day. So while I was cleaning my office this week, I ripped the side of my pinky toe off. Whenever you're cleaning, first you have to make a big mess. So I was cleaning that side of the room, and I moved everything over to this side of the room. And I was also in a meeting at the same time, in one of those meetings that you don't say anything, you just kind of listen. So I could do other things while I was listening. And so I just walked right into my 3D printer and ripped the side of my toe off. So we've got white carpet in the house, and so I'm like I got a paper towel. Luckily I had paper towels in my office, and so I wrapped a paper towel around it, and I'm hobbling around to the sink, and my wife and the kids are off somewhere, and I have no idea. She told me that she made a first aid kit, but I had no idea where it was. I know she probably told me where it was too, but I don't get every detail every time. And so I texted her to figure out where the first aid kit was, and she finally told me, and happened to be downstairs, of course. So I'm hobbling down the stairs trying not to get blood on the white carpet. Anyway, it's a good time. So Bassmaster asked me during the week, he commented on one of my Unique Typhoon H videos, Typhoon H Plus, if I would show that drone off in my live stream. So I've got it, oh dang it, I got it right over there behind me, and Bassmaster, I can show it to you if I know that you're still hanging out and watching. So comment yes, I would like to see the Typhoon, and I will show it to you guys. I've got the DJI Mavic Air 2. I haven't flown it since Saturday, or I haven't flown it. I didn't fly it this week. I was planning on doing some videos this weekend, but it was so windy this week, like literally like tornado winds here in Nashville. All right, Bassmaster, you want to see? All right. Let me figure out. Yeah. First, let's show you the controller. That's the controller. It is a beast. So, oh, I gotta screw this one in. So this is a controller. Turn it on. It has a 7-inch Android tablet in it. And I'm trying to get there. That's a good shot. So it's booting up. So yeah, there's several different versions. This is the unique Typhoon H Plus. When it was new, it was over $2,000, and this is the one that, so there's an orange commercial version called the 520. This is the exact same drone as that, except this is the consumer version. So the software on the controller is more for consumers as opposed to like a person working at a construction site. The professional version, the 520, you can do mapping with it. You can do inspections with it. It actually comes with an extra software subscription that you can do mapping and topographical stuff like that. So yeah, you don't need a phone. You can do everything with this. You can even plug the SD card into this and watch your footage on the Android phone. You can install Android apps. So you can do I'm spacing out on the app now, but you can check whether you're allowed to fly in an area or not. So I actually went into a meeting one time and I took notes on this controller at work, and that was pretty fun. So yeah, so that's the controller. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off to save the battery. But it's got the app on the controller is a lot like all the other apps that you get. You can calibrate your drone. You can see what the drone sees. You can get compass information, telemetry, height, all that kind of stuff. But so yeah, but this controller is legit. Like a lot of the DJI drones that I fly have these. I don't know if you guys can hear me. A lot of the drones that I have, the DJI drones have like these little plastic knobs, and the Paradanafi has a cheap controller. It feels pretty cheap. These are legit controllers, and they have these spikes. So if you don't want to pinch, these spikes actually kind of dig into your fingertips and have an excellent grip. It also has HDMI output. It has a big red kill switch over here. So that'll kill your drone. It'll drop it out of the sky if you push that button. That's why they made it red. It's got two different types of antennas. So these two antennas are for flying the drone, and this antenna is for the video feed. And I've got the mushroom on. The mushroom kind of lets me fly the drone behind me, and it'll still get video feed from the drone. But there's a flat version where you can fly it even further, but you have to actually be pointing the controller at the drone the whole time, or else you'll lose it. So yeah, that's the controller. So what do we got going on? So yeah, there's a newer version that has a Leica camera on it, but the drone itself is this exact same as this one. This one has Intel Sense. Is that what it's called? It's by Intel, but it's kind of the obstacle avoidance. So let me get through here. I live in Jackson, Tennessee. There's like no winds. All right. Don't need no phone. That's all you need. Go online. You can download Dropbox. Yep, you can download Dropbox. So you can put your SD card in the controller and push your video straight up to Dropbox. So Bassmaster says, is the drone for cinematography or action shots or what? It's so big. Okay, so I'm going to show you this first. So this is the DJI Mavic Air 2. Okay. In order for this drone to video behind it, I have to turn the entire drone around to shoot back there. Okay. If I want to look over there, I have to point the drone at it. It only has one face and it's pointing forward. So you have to actually turn the drone. Okay. So that's what this drone does. What's good about the Unique Typhoon H Plus is, I'll show you. Let's put this back there. Let's get it looking good. Bam. All right. I should have had a table out, but we're going to back up a little bit. I'm going to try not to break it. So this, I don't even, can't even fit. This is the Unique Typhoon H Plus. The landing gear goes up, and you have this gimbal that hangs underneath the drone. So as you can see, the camera can go 360 degrees around as long as you want it to. Okay? It'll just keep going in a circle. So yeah, let's get you out of the way. And I'll demonstrate that. You guys see that? Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. All right, so I don't know if it's charged because it's been a while. That's it. All right, so there's the drone, or there's the gimbal is initialized. Something else that's really cool, I'm not going to do it here, is you can take this camera off and swap it out with other cameras. Okay, they've only made one for this series, but you can use other cameras that they've built, as long as it's a payload that has the same pins that will slide into here. And the reason I love that is I made, I took this little part right here, I bought a replacement part for it, and added a, basically screwed a GoPro mount into it so I can add other cameras under here, and I'm not adding any weight to the drone. I'm actually, most of the cameras that I add to the drone, I'm actually reducing weight. So this drone, it's a hexacopter that is able to carry a payload. But I want to show you guys what's cool about the camera. All right, so check the gimbal out. So like I showed you earlier, the whole drone has to, the DJI Mavic Air 2 and just about any of the DJI drones, except for the Inspire, you have to turn the drone to point it at what you're looking at. This drone, you can just turn the camera and look at whatever you want to look at and leave the drone where it's at. Something else that Nick the Savage says, you can lose one prop and still fly. That's true. So there is there's a mode in here that it's a fail-safe. So if one of the blades flies off, I've never had a blade actually fly off my drone. I've hit things and broken blades, but I've never had a propeller just fly off. But if that ever happened, this drone can fly with 5 props, whereas all the other drones that I have only have 4 props. So if you lose one, you're really off balanced. But the way this is built, you've got, whichever way you go, if you lose one blade, you still have 4 blades in a symmetrical pattern to bring that drone down. Okay? So as you can see, this camera has been spinning around. It just keeps going no matter what I do. And the video stream is not going to look that good, but you've got this little knob here, and watch the gimbal. I can turn it the other direction, so I can center when I center it, it stays in the same spot. And when I turn the knob, I can make it go really fast. Or if I center it and just barely move it, look how slow I can pan my drone. Now I can put it up in a spot, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually moving. It's moving in a circle. And it might be too slow for you guys to notice. Pretty sure it's moving. Now we'll do it just a little bit so you guys can see it move. But see how slow it's panning? You can get some really, really cool shots. I have some shots that I've taken with this drone where so I'm flying the drone forward, and then I've got it on an automatic pan, so it's spinning, and then I'm bringing the gimbal up at the same time. So there are 3 different movements happening at the same time. Super cool. So what do we got going on in the chat? How I broke my first bebop, did not screw the blades in, and when I flew down it fell off and broke. Amazon return is good, and I got a free replacement. That's awesome. Now that you say that, I did have a blade fly off of my Parrot AR drone. So yeah, you just caught me in a lie. I'm just kidding. You caught me in a forgetfulness. What time is it? 7:11. I didn't even know the show started yet, guys. Something else I love about this drone are these really big LED lights. A lot of my drones, a lot of these small drones that I fly from DJI, as soon as you get like 400 feet away, they're really hard to see in the sky. If I know where it's at, and I know, I'm pretty good at kind of knowing where it is in the sky, and I can see the little black dot, and if I'm moving and I watch that black dot move, then I know I'm looking at my drone, and I can see that, you know, it's away from things. This drone is huge, and so I can fly really far away and still see it. Now it flies like a tugboat. Okay, it's not. So the DJI drones, when you fly them really, really fast, and then you stop, the drone will stop right, kind of almost right where you're at. This drone, you need to. So Nacho, that's the ad that came up on my live stream, is a manscaping video. That's nice. That's all right. I'm a man. I scape. So So Bassmaster asked how it is with obstacle avoidance. So this Intel, can somebody help me what that's called? I'm completely spacing on what the obstacle avoidance is called here. I feel like it's IntelliSense, but I'm not quite sure. So it only has it in the front, and a lot of people have said, well, there's, that's a big issue. The DJI drones have eyes all over them, and they can avoid objects. What makes this drone so good is you don't have to point the drone in the direction that you're looking at. Okay? So if you just fly this drone forward, but you're pointing your camera down over there, this drone has IntelliSense in the direction that it's flying. Okay? If you have it track you, the object avoidance will work great. But I don't think you should ever rely on object avoidance. That's me personally. So I think you should always fly your drone RealSense. I knew it was something like that. Intel RealSense. Got it. But you should always fly safely and away from objects, period. And I don't think you should ever have anything completely track you and you just trust that the drone is not going to hit anything. Drones are getting really good. That DJI Mavic Air 2's got some great sensors on it. But object avoidance is okay, but when you have something that costs this much and is this big, chances are you're not going to risk it hitting an object anyway. Okay? That's what we got in the chat. So I'm against the Skydio 2. I pre-ordered the Skydio 2, and I'm all about drones being able to avoid things. But I don't trust the Skydio 2 because I've actually seen it crash. I've seen it hit things. It forgets where it's at. It loses things. So I don't think that technology is quite there yet. I'm actually pretty against total autonomous flight. I don't think we're there yet. But a flight plan, you've seen me do a lot of flight plans on my channel. I do really like a planned flight that I know, I can fly up to the top of a tree and know how high it is and plan to avoid it. But just having a drone just kind of fly around and point at you, those things kind of scare me a little bit. So Nick the Savage got the Parrot Bebop 2 tracking feature for free because they were giving it away for free. Best money I didn't spend. I know when the Parrot and Nafi came out, they were charging like $30 for flight plan and $30 for tracking. And then I actually did a video on my channel of when they came down to like 99 cents a pop. So, yeah. Jake Eves, welcome to the channel. Hi from Kingston, Ontario, Canada. I'm new to the channel. I'm joined by my sisters, McKenna and Maya. Well, hello, Jake, McKenna, and Maya. Welcome to Shawn Ide Studios. What we do here is we play around with drones. I am not the guy that's sponsored by anybody, so I don't do marketing videos. What I do is actually buy the product myself and fly them around in real cases. I get a lot of flack from people saying your video footage sucks, or there's something wrong with why do all these other people have better footage than you do. It's because they were paid to get that footage. I actually fly what I get, like the DJI Mavic Air 2. On the website, it says that it can take Android. It says that it can do panorama shots. It can't do that yet. I'm the guy that figures that out in the field, and you get to see it firsthand. So welcome to the channel. I'm an honest guy that just likes to have fun, so hope you stick around on the channel and like it. I see Drone Effects with Claude is in the house. So is it just Drone Effects now? You've got the Bugs 3 coming. Nice. That's nice. So is it just called the Bugs 3, or is... I feel like Bugs makes several different types of drones, but I might be confused. So as you can see, that drone has been... that gimbal has been spinning for like at least 10 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and turn everything off. But just so you can see like a really cool shot, well, while that's spinning, is I can bring the gimbal camera up at the same time really slow and get a super cool shot. It also has cruise control on it, so just like that panning's automatic, I can turn cruise control. Like if I point the drone and it start flying I'm flying in a direction, I can hit cruise control and it'll continue to fly in that direction, so I don't have to fly my drone, point the camera, do everything all at the same time. I can focus on one thing. So if I get the path correct, so let's say I line up the house and I'm flying towards the house, then I can focus on moving my camera instead of focusing on flying in a straight line and point my camera. So it's just it's a wonderful camera in the sky is what it is. All right, so we're gonna get that going. It also has a 1-inch sensor on it, so it takes ridiculous photos. So that's it. Alright, so that was all for you, Bassmaster. I hope you liked it. I need to get that drone back out and fly it. Someone mentioned earlier that it does great in the wind, so this week was probably a good time to fly it. So JQ says, oh, I won't give you any flack, neither will my sisters. We aren't those types of people. Awesome. So, Drone Effects, how did you get the bugs for free? That's what I want to know. I still struggle getting things for free to show on my channel. I might work on that this year. I'm working on my website right now, trying to get that kind of up to speed. So Jake Eves has a Black Hornet Nano drone. He says it's really quiet. The quietest drone I have is my Parrot Anafi. It is really quiet. I will say the DJI Mavic Air 2 is surprisingly quiet compared to the DJI Mavic Air, like the original one. Miller's back. Inspiration Magic is Miller. So you think all these other drones are overpriced compared to what this drone does? I will say, I'm not going to get into pricing. Companies can charge whatever they want to if their business model can sustain what they're selling their drones for, then more power to them. The more expensive, the reason I got the Unique Typhoon H Plus is because the DJI Mavic Air, or the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, came out, and it was just the drone by itself was almost as expensive as that drone, and I was like, I can get so much more with the Unique Typhoon H Plus. So Brent Newman says, yeah, that Ken Heron video was painful. If you're referring to the power lines whack. Yeah, so the Skydio 2, he had a successful video with the Skydio 2 where I think he tracked a really, really fast remote control truck. But the power lines was like I saw a bunch of videos before the Skydio 2 came out of it seeing a chain link fence and going around just these amazing things. And then I saw Billy Kyle wreck his. Billy Kyle, and the reason he wrecked his is because he was flying over water and it couldn't understand the reflection of the water compared to where he was. So it doesn't do good with reflections. It only flies as good as the eyes are. So it doesn't do very good in low light. So there's those situations. I don't know if if you were, like, we have a lot of greenways here where you can ride your bike or run or jog or whatever. And we have a lot of Tennessee, Nashville, where I live, had a lot of trains. So what they've done is they've all these little train tunnels. They've built greenways around them, so you can go under these train tunnels while you're riding your bike. And if you had a Skydio following you, and you went under one of those train tunnels, I mean, what's it going to do? It might, if it goes over it, then it'll probably be fine. But if it follows you into the tunnel, then it's going to lose you. Probably even with that beacon in your hand. Something that this drone doesn't have, that its predecessor had, the Unique Typhoon H, it had a wizard that came with it. And it was kind of a point and fly type thing. So you would set, you want your drone to be, only fly 50 feet away from you, and you don't want it to fly any lower than 60 feet up in the air, so you can, stay out of the way of trees and power lines and all that stuff. And then you could just point the remote control and it would fly over there, and then you could point over there. It also had a GPS on it. So what I like about Unique is that they're a company that innovates, and a lot of other companies just copy them. So the little beacon that comes out with the Skydio 2, the Unique Typhoon H did that 2 or 3 years ago. Everybody always made fun of my controller. I showed you how big that controller was. All the DJI people kept making fun of that big controller. And then DJI decides to come out with a smart controller, which has a tablet in it, and it's a pretty big controller. And then everybody was just like, oh, it's the best thing in the world. So I don't know. I'm the same way about Parrot. I like to keep my opinions objective. So I'm not going to be like a DJI fanboy or a Unique fanboy or an Apple fanboy. I have an Apple computer and a PC. I have an iPhone and I have an Android phone. And as far as drones goes, I have a Parrot drone. I've got 2 Parrot drones. I've got 2 Unique drones, and I think I have 4 DJI drones. And I got a iFlight Bumblebee FPV drone that I don't know how to fly yet. So I like to keep it interesting. And I've got an Autel Evo 2 Pro on the way. the 6K version that has a 1-inch sensor on it. But it won't ship out till like the end of June. So I'm going to try to get all my DJI Mavic Air 2 videos out of the way before that one comes in. So let me catch up. So Jake Eve says, any drones you would recommend to my sister McKenna, as she's a first-time drone owner? If I was going to do, so before the DJI Mavic Mini came out, the drone I would suggest to all beginners would be the DJI Spark. So if you can get a hold of a DJI Spark, it's a very durable drone. It doesn't fold up, so it doesn't have all these legs that could break off real easy. It can take a couple crashes and not wreck, but this is what I would suggest. Take the go off. So this is the DJI Mavic Air. No, this is the DJI Mavic Mini. It doesn't shoot in 4K. It shoots in 2.7K. But this is such a fun little drone. I would encourage you to get a drone that has a GPS hold. This has a very good GPS hold. Nick the Savage is telling you to get a Parrot Bebop 2. I think a Parrot Bebop 2 is good. But if she can afford this, I would get this instead. Just because this has the latest technology. Parrot Bebop 2 is kind of up to date, but there's a lot of really good stuff in this drone. And it is so much fun to fly. Okay? And I'm not saying that because I'm sponsored by anybody. I'm saying that because I've got experience flying a whole bunch of different types of drones. And you've got a lot less guesswork with that. Parrot Bebop. Parrot Bebop 2 is a great drone. Don't get me wrong. I would just encourage you guys to get the DJI Mavic Mini. But the Parrot Bebop 2 is pretty durable, except for the front of it. The front of it is a big glass lens, and it's pretty easy to scratch. Just because if it falls out of the sky, it's going to dive bomb, whereas this drone will kind of just flop around and you might not hit the gimbal. Drone Effects with Claude says the Mavic Mini is a great drone. It's a really great little drone. And there's a not to toot, I don't want to, anyway, there's a link in the description of this video to the DJI Mavic Mini, and I believe it's 10% off if you click on that link. It's either 10 or 8% off. So Jake Eve says, I don't care what the drone is as long as it flies and performs good, and I don't care if it's military type or non-military type. Okay, so what I was saying about the GPS hold, any drone without GPS hold is a lot harder to fly. What's good about that drone and the Parrot Bebop 2 is the drone will hover. So you can basically, with the controllers, you can move it into a spot and then it'll just sit there. And you can take it up and it'll just sit there. And then you can move it over and it'll just sit there. If you buy a cheaper drone that just flies in acro mode or just flies in ATT mode, ATTI mode, then it's going to take a lot more effort to keep that in the air. So I would really encourage you to get one that has the ability to hover in one spot, especially as a beginner. I'm learning how to fly an FPV drone right now, and I've got a lot of skill when it comes to flying drones. I've been flying them for about 5 years now, and it's like I'm starting over with FPV. It's a struggle. It's hard. So let me catch up to all the things you guys are saying. When my Bebop 2 fell like 40 feet, only the legs were broken. Oh, that's good. Yeah, my original Parrot Bebop landed right on the lens, and it was not good. Nick the Savage says the Parrot Bebop 2 has a better battery, I think. Oh, by the way, Shawn, some of my drones are military types. Interesting. So what does a military drone do? Is it like I've seen them where they're like planes with a big camera in the front of them, like a spy drone, or what would a military drone do? Nick the Savage says, don't quote me. I can look it up if you want. Let's see. So Nick the Savage, how much flight time do you have on the Parrot Bebop 2? It's been a long time since I've flown my Bebop 2. But the claims are no. He was trying to sell me something. So the DJI Mavic Air 2 touts 30 minutes, but with 6 minutes left on the battery, it tells you to come back home. So I'm going to do this. So let's talk about the DJI Mavic Mini. Everything might flake out a little bit. Alright, so this is the Mavic Mini. The Mavic Mini is $400. But this page doesn't have the specs on it. Dang it, seriously? I have the Fly More package, and it comes with 3 batteries. Let's go to overview. That'll be good. Okay, this should show us. So this one's got each battery has a 30-minute flight time. So I got the Fly More package, which is $4.99, and that gives me an hour and a half of flight time, which is more than enough. I get bored after flying. Like, in one location, I will fly everywhere in an hour and a half. I can fly just about everywhere in about 15 minutes, to be honest. But I'm used to flying on one battery. Back in the day, I flew on one battery, and I had to be specific. So Jake Eve says, I'm glad I know how to solder and repair drones. A lot of racing drones crash. Yep. Drone Effects. Hello, Nacho. Sonia is blocked from my channel. She turned into a troll. Oh, that sucks. I hate trolls. Last week, Nick the Savage disliked my video from every account he had. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nick the Savage is behaving tonight, so that's good. I think. I can't tell how many likes or dislikes I have on my video. But overall, so far, things have been going pretty good tonight. We got 9 people. We have 11 people now. So it's been a good stream. So Jake Eve says, They are types used for surveillance, just small RC drones like the Black Hornet and others the U.S. and Canadian military use, not the big airplane types. Okay, so when you say they're for surveillance, the Black Hornet, let's look that up. What? I think I might have just found a new hobby. That is awesome. So he says it's a military drone. Can civilians fly them? That is cool. So this is what Jake Eves flies. This tiny little surveillance drone. What kind of video footage can you get out of it? So Brett Newman says, I've never flown the Mavic Mini. Wow. Blah, blah. I've never flown the Mavic Mini, but from what I've seen, it seems like it'd be a great first drone. I agree with that, because I said it. Jake Eve says, I've also hand-launched UAVs such as... Ooh, that's cool. I got that little nick right there on my arm is from pushing the record button on my Insta360 Go while it was on top of my DJI Mavic Mini. Yeah, Nick, I appreciate you going back and fixing what you did. I do have somebody that dislikes every video I put up, so I'm not sure what that's about, but currently, Brent, I'm teaching Makey how to operate my Black Hornet. She's really into it. Brett Newman says, just looked up the pointer. Interesting. Long, slender wingspan. I'll have to look that up too. Stephen Drone said the wind will blow it away. It looks like the wind would blow it away, doesn't it? My little Tello, I had the Tello for a week, and I decided that was not the drone for me because it could not handle outside. Here in Nashville, we're in a valley, and we're between two weather fronts, and they hit a lot. So we get a lot of tornadoes here in Nashville. We get a lot of crazy winds here in Nashville. So that Tello just did not work for me. It was a blast when I flew it inside, but that was about it. So Jake Hughes says, yes, Shawn, cost me a fortune, and yes, you can fly it if you know where to buy it. Interesting. Let's see if you can buy it. Ooh, here's one for 500 used. No, maybe not. That's not what that is. Look at that one. Just kidding. Interesting. Yeah, I think that drone looks really cool. So it looks like a helicopter. So does it fly like a helicopter? So can you fly it like a drone, or do you have to actually hold it up in the air the whole time? As you can see by the pictures, the Black Hornet is the world's smallest drones, is confirmed by GWR. Oh, Guinness World Record. Nice. That's really cool. Do you guys remember that movie Richie Rich? It was a cartoon when I was growing up, but they made a video with Macaulay Culkin, and they had a remote control Bumblebee, And back then I always thought that that would be so cool to just fly around, be a fly in a room or whatever. But it would have to be quiet. When I started flying drones and started telling people that I was flying drones all the time, people would get on to me saying that I was a pervert and I was going to be pointing my camera places and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, so I had a couple people that I worked with, and I took them out on my lunch break and I showed them what the drone sounded like. And it was like bzzz, like a swarm of bees. Don't even get me started with the DJI Mavic Air. But that drone was so loud, and I was like, how am I supposed to sneak up on anybody with a drone when it sounds like this? But when the Parrot came out, it has a 2x zoom on it, and it's really quiet. So I could possibly spy on somebody with that if I wanted to. And then I showed you guys last week my 48 megapixel pictures taken with my DJI Mavic Air 2, and those pictures were good enough you could spy on somebody. Probably you could probably get up to someone's window, take a 48 megapixel picture, and then look in their window back at your computer. But yeah, Nick Savage. Oh, I should tell you about this. So you probably already know it though, but I was a part of a pilot program. Me and several people were on this Facebook group back in the day, talking about, because Parrot released like the APK for their, not the APK, the API. APK is an Android app, but the API for their flight controllers for the Bebops. And there was this guy that I was talking to. I think he was in Italy, but we were talking back and forth in Facebook, and he was creating a way to take panoramas with the Parrot Bebops. And I ended up buying his application, but I was also part of the beta test, and it was called Bebop 360. So if you can, I don't know if that app is still available, but if you can download that app, you can take panoramas with your Parrot Bebop. I used to take them by hand. I wonder if that's still a thing. Let me see if I can find that. What is happening? Wow. I didn't even know this still existed. Check this out, guys. That's my really old logo. It was a compass. And this was, my company used to be called Shawn Ide Designs, and so this is an old Tumblr. I got to go through and see what this is about, but this is a tiny planet that I took 400 feet up in the air. Oh, this was the Phantom 3. I took that with the DJI Phantom 3, but I did this by hand. I took 40, what is it? 12, 24, 36. I took 38 pictures with my Phantom 3. So let's go back here. I don't want to Google with you guys watching, just in case something comes up. So let me see if it's on my Kula. Bear with me, guys. So I can show you guys this. So this is my Kula page. There's the address up there if you guys can see it. It's kula.co/profile/Shawn Ide/posts. I've got tiny planets that I've done with a lot of my different drones that I have. This was done with the Unique Typhoon H in 2017. So this is the original. It's not this drone, but it's the last one. So this one doesn't have a 1-inch sensor, but this is the planet that I took with that. Oh, and this is at my dad's house. I was like, I don't even know where this is. But this is what I took in 2017 with my Unique Typhoon H. And it did a really good job. Just saying. But I was trying to find the one that I did with my Parrot. So there's one with the DJI Spark. Fall leaves with the Typhoon H. Alright, this is done with my... Oh wait, no, that's my DJI Mavic Pro. I thought that was the Spark. Woo! Jake Eves is getting all military on us. That's pretty awesome. We've got DJI Sparks. Alright, this is the first one I ever did with my DJI Mavic Pro. This is the Gear 360 2017 edition. And it's blurry. But I thought it was there. Alright. So we're going to go back to the live chat. I don't know that I can find it tonight. I know I did it at Antioch. Alright, we're going to try one more thing. So Jake Eves says he recently has retired military UAVs. That's awesome. Oh, this is a good video. I can show you this video. Alright, I don't know if it's gonna... It's probably gonna show an ad. I got it muted, so we're gonna show an ad and then we're gonna go into it. Alright, we're going to start that over. Alright, let's pause it. We're going to do that. We'll go full screen. And we'll end on this. And let me know if it messes up, guys. Can you guys hear it okay? I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. So this was, that's my Parrot Bebop 2, and I put the Rilo 360 on it. This is me talking about how everybody copies them, but here's a picture of kind of what I did back in the day. That's with the let me pause it right quick. So this is my Ricoh Theta. This might be Ricoh Theta HD, but I put it on top of my Parrot Bebop. This is the original Parrot Bebop. I even have like my little electric coupler landing gear that I did it myself, and these blades, you kind of push them down and then turn them a little bit, but you have like this tool that you use to do that with. But look at this Velcro, guys. This is just a piece of Velcro holding this on. It might actually have, I might have used 3M tape as well, but the Parrot Bebop drones, you know, they're made lightly. I don't want to say they're made cheaply, because they do a great job, but they're made so that they're super light. They're engineered super light. So this is kind of what I did. Yeah, Nick Savage, the blades are a different size, but yeah, it's pretty much the same. You kind of push them down and turn them a little bit. Since you guys don't have sound, not sure why you don't have sound. Maybe if I did that, let's try that. Nope, still no sound. But here's kind of a video of me putting the Rilo on, and I'm basically using a wrist mount to wrap it around the entire drone. And whenever you're doing this, you need to make sure the blades don't hit your mount. That's the biggest thing. So this is what the Bebop 2 footage looks like. I need to get that drone back out. That's a fun little drone to fly. I remember when I did this video, it had been over a year since I had flown it, and there were all these updates. So I spent like one of the batteries just updating the drone. I think I went through 3 updates. They added all these things to where you could like put your hand under the drone and to drop in your hand and all that kind of stuff. And I looked stupid. I was testing out like a little Sony action cam under the bill of my hat, and it looks stupid. I only did it twice, and I never did it again. That's from my Sony. But I mean, the drone looks pretty cool. I always think it's interesting when I'm watching videos of my drones, that all of the different blades, the blades move differently. So Nick the Savage is asking if I'm using OBS. Yes, I'm using Streamlabs OBS. So I'm not sure what's going on with the audio, but I wanted to show you guys what the Rilo looked like on it. Here we go. You don't have to necessarily hear it, but this is what the Rilo did. The drone bounces around. I mean, it's not a stable drone by any means, but this was back at the beginning of my channel where these are the types of things that I did all the time. In the video with the action cam, am I using OBS? No. Oh, am I using object stabilization? I'm not sure actually. But I think these are cool shots where you get to actually sit on top of the drone and fly it. I've done a couple of these videos in VR where you can just ride around on your drone, and those are pretty cool. So yeah, it's 8 o'clock, guys. What? Whoa. All right, we're back here now. So yeah, that was Tuesday night studio sessions. First studio sessions in June. Hope you guys liked this video. I thought we had a pretty good night. I wasn't quite sure how tonight was going to go just because of the state of the country right now. But yeah, hope you guys like this video. As always, there's links in the descriptions to where you can get gear that I use, drones that I review, that type of thing. I've talked about a lot of drones tonight, and I think every one of these drones are in my Amazon shop, but I've got DJI drones down in the description. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications. I want to have more videos about DJI drones, unique drones, Parrot drones, and soon to be Autel drones. I also like to review action cameras, vlogging cameras, live streaming, and I'm going to start doing videos on how to do YouTube, because it's something that I've been playing around with a lot lately, trying to improve my channel, improve my game. What I really need to get down to is editing videos that I record. There was one month when I just put out videos that I had recorded the month before. So with this pandemic, with me working from home, I should have more time, but sitting at home, I feel like I need to prove to my company that I'm working, so I actually work more than I did when I went to the office. So with that said, I'm going to start putting videos out like my flight plan video. I think at least once a week I'm going to do a flight plan somewhere. I'm thinking about doing one around Stewart's Creek High School, where I did my DJI Mavic Air 2 video. But yeah, so anyway, hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications when I put out more videos. I just did that already. So yeah, have a wonderful night, guys. Peace out.